sorry, I did something silly there. Hold on a second. That's good. That's Ain't No Stairway High Enough to Hip Hop Heaven, it's called, featuring Led Zeppelin, Stairway to Heaven, and Marvin Gaye. I think that's good. A little bit of a mashup. I've also been asked to play one which angered a lot of people. It's called Another Boot in the Wall. I'll play that other mashup. I'll play one more today because I believe in showing mercy. Another Boot in the Wall by Pink Floyd with Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking. Good morning. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And the text messaging service, of course, is 81771. Mr. Coyle has returned. Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
You look fine and healthy.
Oh,
but a little sad, I think.
You weren't saying that earlier.
No, I changed my tune. No, I thought you looked terrible. But I'm saying on the radio that you look fine and healthy because the people want you to look fine and healthy. They don't want me to tell them the truth, that you look as if you'd be dragged through a bramble bush. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say you look fine and fit. You've been away for quite a long time. And you've used the time, well, fruitfully.
You told me to take some time off, and I listened to you. Listen, I couldn't help but notice your anger this morning. I haven't been talking to you in 3 weeks, and I come back and I hear you giving out terrible there. But
that's the first time I haven't done that before.
I thought that was totally out of character.
It was, actually.
I don't think it was your place to interject there in Stephen Nolan's programme to talk to an interviewee.
I surprised myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel quite strongly about that.
It's only because you want to park outside the shop that you want to go to. I mean, if people would obey the rules, and if there's no parking space, then try walking to the shop. Try parking a little further down the street a bit, and then walk into the shop that you're trying to get to.
The whole point is that the people are afraid to bring their cars into...
No, they're not.
Yes,
No,
they are.
I'll tell
They're
you
afraid
what.
to bring the cars into the towns or cities because they realise that if they stay a minute over their allotted time, a man will pounce upon them and make them pay 60 quid.
No.
Well, what are they afraid of then?
No, I'll tell you. If
I
you-
happen to...
It's a lot easier parking out in this city than it was before the traffic wardens came. It's a lot easier getting a parking space now.
Well, I don't agree with you.
Well.
People close to me are in business, and they say all the same thing, that the business has been adversely affected by the fact that people are afraid to park their cars because they're afraid to risk the penalty in case they're held up or delayed in any way, because they know there'll be no leeway and there'll be no...
Bah humbug, I tell you.
Bah humbug.
Because just the other...
You see, what I was trying to get at was that, there's a certain type of person that is a traffic warden now. There was a time people used to be traffic wardens, used to be able to talk to them, and they were quite nice and they understood, and they'd say things like, you'll be too long, will you? No. But there's none of that now. You're the type of person that they want.
Yes.
You're the type of person. You're the raw material that they're after.
Well, can I just tell you that during my vacation, I had cause to visit our city centre, and I was parked in a road, and I wasn't sure how long you could get parked. There's parking bays there, and I was legally parked.
Of course, you wouldn't be parked any other way.
You see, and as I was walking up the street, I said, "I wonder how long I've got here." And there's a traffic warden at the top of the street, and I made my way to him. I says, "Look, I'm parked down there." I says, how long have I got?" He says, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm in here to the shopping centre." "Will you be long?" He says. And I said, "No, but 15 minutes or so." He says, "You're all right."
Well, that's good. That's the way.
So
they used
there
to
you
go.
are.
And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to find that if you come out of your car, there'd be a ticket sitting on it.
There you are. He
All
says,
right,
"Where you go?"
then, okay. Well, okay. I'm sorry. You allow me a little anger now and again. It's good for me. It gets the bile out of my system.
I have an ear.
Have you?
I've returned with an ear.
I came back with the thing.
Did you?
You've got an ear and I've got a thing.
Yeah. I can't hear.
Can you not? On which
one ear.
side? And which ear is
side?
that?
That's left. Right. In my right ear.
You can't hear in your right ear? Emma, will you test that? Say something nice to him.
No.
Is it completely blotted out your ear?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Have you been to see a medical man about this?
Well, this last couple of weeks, I noticed that when I got up out of bed in the morning, I had to fiddle with my ear.
Makes you change?
To get some hearing in it. You see, how do you shake it about?
Put your left ear in, you put your left ear out. Well, as a matter of fact,
And now-
I've had similar trouble with an ear of mine for many years, and I haven't figured out yet what I have to do to make it hear. What do you do to make your ear
Well,
hear?
I've this morning now, in the past, I jiggled it about, and the hearing returned. But this morning when I shook it, I jiggled it. When I jiggled it this morning, nothing happened.
Well, you see, this is because you're getting a wee bit old. There's many a man jiggling things in the morning and nothing happens. It comes down to old age. So do you jiggle your head or do you...
No, I can't jiggle my head because I've got vertigo
Well, you see...
and inner ear problems, you see.
You've got everything.
Yeah.
Well, how
So
do you
I can't
jiggle your
jiggle.
ear without jiggling your head? Do you take your ear in your hand and
And you
jiggle...
pull it up
jiggle
and down.
I
That's
see what
right.
you mean, yeah.
Yes,
Well, you're doing it now.
I've been doing it this morning. I'm
can't
doing it now. Hear me doing it now, and it won't work. Nothing's happening.
Emma, don't look. Don't look at that.
So it's been suggested that I go to the chemist, and he'll put something in my ear.
You're making me cough, and I've got a sore throat.
So what happened to you?
Oh, no, I don't want to go through this because you don't care. I explain to the listeners. Whilst I was away in a foreign country, Italy to be exact, I contracted some kind of virus. And laid me low. I thought I had malaria. And then it kept coming back, you see. And even now, today, when you listen to me, I'm not 100%. So I went to the doctor here and he said, funny thing happened to you when you were in Italy. He said, you got a virus. But it'll work itself out gradually. You'll feel better, but you'll have symptoms for about 2 or 3 weeks. They will linger and persist.
I couldn't help but notice that you're a little breathless this morning. When you were moving about the office, you were puffing and panting a lot, and grunting more than you usually do.
Well, you see, this is part of the symptoms. I'm sorry about that.
What about your training? Have you been running?
No, you see, this is one of the things that has affected me adversely. I've been unable to perform my entire training schedule. As a matter of fact, I've lost about a month. So in actual fact, I feel as if I'm regressing. So even though I fully intend to run the marathon in New York on November 4th, and 6th, and you will be there, of course, and we'll be making a program as well. I fully intend to take part, but I may not do very well because I will not be in anywhere near peak physical shape because I have to resume my training. I'm not allowed to do anything for about another week. And then you have to more or less see, once you're out for about 4 or 5 weeks, you're back to square one. So I'm going to bring myself to the point where I'll be able to make some kind of a shape at it, but don't expect anything spectacular.
Right. So tell me about this malaria type bug. Did it
fever.
Lay you low?
It laid me low, very low. I was in bed for like 3-4 days in a temperature 40 degrees in a small Italian town in Italy, with only a fan above me. And I lay there, and the soft breezes flowed across my body. Pardon?
Did you know the fan? Who was it?
No, I went in and out of consciousness. I'm drifting in and out, and I had deliria. And
Diarrhea you had?
No, deliria, I said. Yeah. I also had... No, I knew, I wasn't at all well. And I'm happy now to be almost 75% of my former fitness. And I'm not entirely okay yet, as you can see. And you can see the weight has dropped off me.
Is it contagious?
It is. That's why I'm spending all the possible time I can near you.
That's why you coughed in my face in the kitchen this morning.
That was deliberate. You probably thought that was an accident.
Emma. Yeah. He just turned around and coughed in my face.
That's what's called spread the germs. I approve of that. Anyway, listen, start this program here. Dear Runny Pants.
You see?
That's referring to the marathon. The other day you were talking about after-hours chippies in the good old days. You missed that. One of the things we talked about whilst you were gone was chippies and stuff like that. And you have a great story about chippies, and I don't want to hear it. When I was still capable of chasing women and sometimes catching the odd one, our after-hours chippy was called Ken's at the Knock traffic lights on the Newtonards Road. It was always queued out the door, but we didn't mind because it gave us a chance to chat up the lovely girls we'd be ogling at the Glenmackin disco. And the crack was brilliant. Ken's was the last chance chippy for a bit of How's Your Father and a cardboard fish. Do you remember the cardboard fish? A breadcrumbed fish in a vaguely fish-shaped rectangle?
That was Place.
Was it?
That was a breaded place.
But really nice when you're drunk and starving. The other last chance chippy was Ringo's on Great Victoria Street. I remember Ringo's.
Were you talking about your showband days?
No, this is comparatively recently.
Because the chippy meant a lot to you guys in the showband.
We started off talking about the Venice, which was a chip shop in Carlisle Circus, which then became quite dangerous to go to during the trouble because it was on the so-called Murder Mile. You see.
But is this in your showband days?
That was then, but this is now. Mm-hmm. This man's not talking about then, he's talking about now. Well, not now, around about kind of 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Everybody went to Ringo's, but the wee guy who worked in it was deaf. So he had to rely on lip reading to get the orders right. Can you imagine imagine the trouble he had trying to read orders from people who were drunk? Imagine if you were drunk, you go, how are you going to read that?
Yeah.
And it fell his lips. I mean, how do you read that? But he did it. Ken's Burgers ran ads on the radio at the time claiming to sell 10,000 burgers a week, which is fine until apparently the Inland Revenue heard I got the calculator out and Ken's was doomed. Continue on.
But do you remember the chippy that the show bands used here in Derry? Do you remember what one? Come on.
Cassoni's.
At the end of the bridge.
Yes.
That's right.
Was
that Cassoni's?
Yes. A person used to walk over there across the bridge. That was the parade. All the women walked across the bridge. You walked across. And then if you had any money, you'd go in there and get a half a supper.
But the show bands came there late at night.
They did indeed.
Mm-hmm. There's a call for you on one.
Thank you. A mate of mine recently admitted to being addicted to brake fluid. When I quizzed him on it, he said he could stop any time. Hello.
That's not bad. If we were in full health, we would laugh at that.
A new Middle East crisis erupted last night as Dubai television was refused permission to broadcast the Flintstones. I want you to give me the punchline of this joke. A spokesman for the channel said, a claim was made that people in Dubai would not understand the humour. But we know for a fact that people in Abu Dhabi do. You were very slow there. You're not yourself.
I told you.
I started a new job in Seoul last week. I thought it was a good career move. I was driving this morning when I saw an RAC van parked up. The driver was sobbing uncontrollably and looking very miserable. I thought to myself, that guy's heading for a breakdown. You're very slow today. You're not yourself. See, this is what happens when you go away. I'll try you again. Now, you have to get this one.
Who's that on the line making a noise?
Never mind. Here's one.
Right.
I was at a cash point the other day when an old lady asked if I could check her balance, so I pushed her over. You see? Oh, good. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry you had to listen to that.
That's quite all right. I've listened to far worse in the back bar of Lavery's, believe you me.
Oh, you sound like a girl who's been to hell and back.
Oh, I have.
Tell me what I can do for you today.
It's more what... Can we start again?
Start again, yes. Try and speak in English this time.
Hello?
Yes, hello? 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 Can you hear me? She's gone.
I can hear you.
I know, but she's gone.
Mary.
Hello, Mary.
No, Emma's going to try and find her.
For God's sake, I might have known.
What was that about?
I have no idea. I don't think she could hear me properly. I'm going to play a little song now. Christy Moore, have you heard this? Little Honda 50? People like this.
My little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll do 150 on a windy day. My little Honda 50, hit the nitro and she'll shift me. Get me away from the Garda any day. I got her in the buy and sell back in 92. A travelling man in a caravan says this is the big for you. He was looking for 100, I gave him 32. Took over a spin out the Kinnegad Road and begodgy feckin' flew. Oh, my little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll do 150 on a windy day. My little Honda 50, hit the nitro and she'll shift me. Get me away from the Garda any day. I drove her into Newbridge, looking for a couple of parts. Alloy wheels and a sat-nav and a new push-button start. Heading out to Robertstown for the bingo and a beer. Coming down the hill of Allen, she hit the ton in second gear. I was riding across the Curragh, nice and slow. The guards pulled in behind me, Sergeant Kelly, don't you know? I said, oh, Buck, just me luck, I hit the nitro hard. By the time the squad hit Brockett's Cross, I had her parked in Brady's yard. Oh, my little Honda 50, she's rapid and she's nifty. She'll do 150 on a windy day. My little Honda 50, hit the nitro and she'll shift me. She'll get me away from the Garda any day.
That's Christy Moore. It's a song called Little Honda 50. That's from his new album, which will be out the 20th of October, called Folktale. Just dropping you an email asking if you'd wish my dad, Arthur, a happy birthday. Perhaps you could even get Geordie on to say happy birthday as well. Speaking of Geordie, do you realise, have you seen the paper today?
No.
Geordie has been on this programme, and I think he was on during the course of, whilst you were here. And he said continually that there was going to be an Indian summer.
Yes.
And we didn't believe him.
Uh-huh.
And poo-pooed him,
yes.
And indeed treated him with some disdain. And in all the papers today, they're saying that there will be an Indian summer.
Yes.
And it's going to begin basically today,
yeah.
right? And the weather shall be 15 degrees above the normal temperature, probably right up until next week. So that, in my mind, constitutes an Indian summer. So I think we owe Geordie an apology.
Unless the we Kimosabi.
I owe Geordie an apology.
Yes.
Now, this Wednesday, do you know what's happening this Wednesday?
Sam's on one, by the way. I don't know what's happening this Wednesday.
This Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday?
Is it Ash Wednesday?
I don't know.
It's not Ash
I
Wednesday.
don't know. Just what happens on a Wednesday?
Nothing happens on a Wednesday.
know.
I'm just about to tell you what's going to happen on Wednesday. You're not yourself.
Right.
You're not
I
yourself.
only have one ear.
I know, that's what's wrong with you. Let me just talk to this person here. Sam.
Hello, Gerry.
Good morning, Sam. How are you? I'm glad we got the phones going. We had talked to a lady earlier on. I don't know what happened, or maybe perhaps she could come back to me.
Okay.
What can I do for you, sir?
I see you've got the full team back anyway.
Yes, it's horrible, isn't it?
I was just listening to that last one of Christy Moore, and I had a wee car like that. I'd love to come down the house, but I didn't like an up them.
What kind of a car was that?
It was a wee Hillman Imp.
Hellman Imp. Oh, I remember those. You still see those every now and again in country areas. Old farmers are loath to get rid of them because apparently they do something like 500 miles a gallon. Don't they?
Well, they were pretty good. The only thing I didn't like about them, the engine was in the back.
That can be a disadvantage when you're out the front. And have you still got it now?
No, long ago, Gerry.
Well, what did you like about it? Because
Well,
the engine was in the back?
It was more roomy than the Mini,
Yeah.
and it was a good engine. It was a Coventry Climax engine in them.
Yes.
And the only thing about it was because the engine was in the back, there was a very spongy gear change. You had that big link away from the front to the back.
Spongy?
Very spongy, you know.
I don't know. A spongy? What's a spongy? I mean very kind of, not tight.
It wasn't a definite gear change, you know. You know you can feel a nice click of a gear change. You didn't have that in the wee Hillman Imp because of the long linkage. Don't forget, your gear sticks at the front and you had to go way to the back of the car to get the link up.
I understand, yes.
So there was a spongy feel to it.
Okay, spongy feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yes.
I'm hoping you can help us.
Okay.
Maybe not, but we'll try anyway. That's a friend of mine, and he had two donkeys down about the Glen Avey area,
Uh-huh.
around a wee bit of grazing ground beside the Spar shop.
Uh-huh.
A black donkey and a grey one,
Yes.
both mares, both female donkeys,
Uh-huh.
and they've disappeared. And I wonder if anybody could throw any light on it.
Oh, well, does he think they ran away, escaped, or does he think somebody nicked them?
I have a feeling they went away on wheels.
Uh-huh.
But-
And donkeys don't drive.
We don't know really, you know.
They may have been helped.
It might have been helped.
Oh, so where was this again? Tell me.
That's Glen Avey, a bit of grazing ground beside the Spar shop in Glen Avey.
Okay, so a black donkey, did you say?
A black one and a grey one, both mares, both
Uh-huh.
female donkeys.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody has seen anything and maybe throw any light on it, would be appreciated.
All right, then. Okay, we'll ask the people to keep an eye out for that because maybe the people, if they did steal them, might offer them to somebody, or maybe. I mean, it's very hard to hide two donkeys.
It is, isn't it?
Difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see a black donkey and a grey donkey, you say, "Just boys, who owns them donkeys?" That's what you ask, and then depending on the answer you get, give us a ring. And so if anybody has seen anything already, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678, or if they see anything in the near future, in the next day or so, give us a ring. So we'll do that.
Could I give you a number, Gerry?
Go
I
ahead.
hadn't it available whenever Emma was talking to me.
Go ahead.
A mobile number,
Yeah, go ahead.
07960
07960
770956.
770956.
That's it, yes.
Okay.
Thanks very much, Gerry.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. Right, a wee bit of music before 11 o'clock. I always encourage people to send me in demos, and this is a very good demo, I think, from a lovely singer from Newry called Michelle McGee. I'm not quite sure what this is called. Plenty fire in this. I like the attitude. It's good.
So desperate to leave, so scared to believe that I make it on my own. But that's not the case, you see. I spent my whole life being used, too much time being abused. I'm not that doormat no more. I'm not gonna be anyone's whore. I was such a fool to play by your silly rules. I'm stronger now, more than I ever thought I could be. I'm inner strength, not gonna be puppet on a string. I wish you could see me now. I'm flying so high, 'cause I believe in myself and what I could be. The truth was there to set me free, and I understand our destiny. A passion burning deep inside my soul. With a passion I am gonna achieve my goals. Gone are the fears, gone are the scars, gonna be brave, no more tears for you. Our passion burning deep inside my soul. With a passion I am gonna achieve my goals. Gone are the scars, gone are the fears, gonna be brave, no more tears for you. Now I can breathe. Now I can breathe. Now I can breathe. I am alive. I am alive.
I like that. That's a demo. A nice guitar, nice voice, but a nice bit of fire there. I'm not quite sure what that's called. I don't have the title. It's just it's untitled. That's Michelle McGee from Newry. Very, very good. Well, on Wednesday, we're having this special kind of day. I'm doing this documentary about baldness.
What?
I don't have time to explain this.
Baldness on the radio?
Well, not really. About kind of hair transplants, and things like
What do you
that.
mean a documentary? We're doing a documentary.
I'll explain it to you later.
Yes, you would.
On 92 to 95 FM,
and 1341 medium wave.
this is BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock, and with the BBC News, this is Keith Burnside. A deal on air passenger duty, which could help save Northern Ireland's only direct air link to the United States, could be announced this week. The tax, which adds £60 to an economy fare and £120 to a business flight between Belfast and New York, had been threatening to kill off the daily service. The BBC understands that the Chancellor, George Osborne, has personally intervened to remove the tax. The funeral of the former UVF leader Gusty Spence will take place later this week. One of the first victims of his paramilitary gang was 74-year-old Protestant grandmother Matilda Gould, who was killed in a petrol bombing in 1966. Her granddaughter, who didn't want to be named, told The Nolan Show that crimes carried out by Gusty Spence and the UVF should never be forgotten.
To me, he's not getting put on a pedestal. He's not the Gusty Spence that everybody's saying now. Put him on a pedestal, he's this, he's that and the other thing. He was a bad man. He was a bad man who would do that to a 74-year-old crippled woman who crawled out into the hall to try and get out. Her whole house was burnt and she lived, I think it was maybe 6 weeks. It was absolutely horrendous.
World leaders are reported to have been working on the outline for a rescue plan for the Eurozone. It's thought banks or other institutions holding Greek debt could be asked to accept a 50% loss of its value. But the BBC's Europe correspondent Chris Morris says any concrete measures are still a long way off.
Certainly the view from Brussels is that there isn't a plan as such. These are ideas which are being discussed, but the idea that there's a formal proposal which is on the verge of agreement, according to sources here, is very far from the truth. There have been calls to increase the size of the Eurozone's rescue fund for about a year so far, and nothing has happened.
An American has been killed and another wounded in a shooting at a building run by the CIA in the Afghan capital, Kabul. A US embassy spokesman said an Afghan worker opened fire. Sport now, here's Denise Watson.
Ulster rugby coach Brian McLaughlin has criticised his players for their lack of discipline as they went down 32 points to 14 against the Ospreys in the Pro 12 yesterday. Ireland continued their excellent World Cup form against Russia, 62-12 the result. They haven't picked up any further injuries after the match. Ireland's likely quarter-final opponents, Wales, had their biggest ever win in the competition earlier this morning. They beat Namibia 81-7. Scott Williams scored a hat-trick. And Johnny Ray won the opening World Superbike race at Imola yesterday. Alistair Seeley has moved to the top of the British Supersport standings after completing a double at Silverstone.
Some showers are forecast. With the weather, Cecilia Daly.
The dry, sunny weather will continue for a while, though clouds will build from the south to give a cloudier spell this afternoon with some showers. Some places, though, will stay dry and fairly bright, especially in the north. Temperatures will reach 15 or 16 Celsius with light southerly winds. Any showers will disappear this evening before thickening cloud brings rain overnight and a freshening southerly wind.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
Traffic is moving well in and around Belfast city centre. Elsewhere and in Omagh, the Loughdoo Road is closed between Drum Road and Collucan Road. This is because of roadworks that began this morning and will continue all week, with the road remaining closed until Friday night. And at George Best Belfast City Airport, the 5-1 departure to East Midlands has been cancelled. Elaine Sutherland reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, lowering the drink driving limit. Should we just go for zero tolerance? Could it leave you over the limit even the morning after the night before? And the police could stop and breathalyse you whenever they feel like it. Is that right? Is it time to tackle bad teachers? John O'Dowd says underperforming schools won't be tolerated. What would you do with teachers who are just plain rubbish? Also, not in Northern Ireland, how Halifax savers can enter a draw for £100,000 every month, but not us. And a quarter of all women suffer domestic violence at some point in their lives. We hear one woman's story about why she just wouldn't put up with it. Join the debate on Talkback at 12.
Thank you, Wendy. That's Talkback coming up at 12 o'clock. During Travel and Travel, the girl said elsewhere and in Omagh. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. I'm
elsewhere
sorry.
and in Omagh? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Every time I talk of late night fish shops, I think of Brian Call. Why is that?
Sorry, I can't hear you. That's Bellwether State, a song called Safe Spaces. And before that was a track called, what was it called again? The Brits Are Living in My House. The Beatles the Beatles plus LCD Sound System plus the Kinks. And I'll be playing the other one, Another Boot in the Wall, with Pink Floyd and Nancy Sinatra. That's my favourite. These boots are made for walking, and Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall. Safe Spaces, that's what that was called, that last track, that slow one by Bellwether State. I was talking about demos earlier on. I played that demo by Michelle McGee. And I have to say, this is the best demo, this one. Bellwether State is the best demo I ever got, ever in my life. That's a demo. Amazing. And then they went to record the song, and I don't think it sounded as good. The demo was actually better. Sometimes when you're sitting at home, you do something, and that's the best that can be done. You might go to a studio, maybe big loads of money orchestras. It's not good. The first idea comes out. It's usually the best. What?
I discovered them.
Yes, you did. He gave it to you, but that's not the same as
because
discovering
do you know what? Do you know why he gave it to me?
Do we have to hear this story again?
No, he was afraid of you.
That's because I was angry that night.
He didn't like you. He didn't think he could approach you, but he felt as though he could approach me.
No, because the reason why he couldn't approach me because I was in bad form because we were doing a country and western night. Do you remember?
And I played that on the way back from the gig, and I played it over and over and over again. I thought it was fantastic. And then I called the Undertone to one side, and I says, "Come in here to this little room."
It's not easy to get him on his own.
I know. And I got him in, and I says, "Listen to this and tell me what you think of it." He said, "That's very good." I says, "I've got to give it to the man. You give it to the head."
You're afraid to approach me.
I said, "I don't know what to do." You know. So,
am I that unapproachable?
Yes.
Yes, I am, aren't I?
Yeah. And so the Undertone and I went out for a little drink and we discussed it. And he says the best way around this is for you to say that you never heard it, because if he knows that you've contaminated in any way by listening to it, he'll not play it. He says, so just say, look, here's a CD that a man gave to me backstage.
I didn't have time to listen to it.
At a Willie Nelson show, you know. And he says, you haven't heard it. Make sure you say you haven't played it. You haven't heard it.
Because if I think you've heard it and like it, I won't like it.
Yes. And he says, so that's how we approached you.
It worked.
It worked.
Am I so predictable?
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's a man with an update.
About this bald thing.
Oh yes.
No, it's a serious thing now. It's not a serious. Well, it is a serious subject. I'm doing this documentary about kind of hair transplants, stuff like that. Yeah, in America and that. It's just
you're doing a documentary.
Yeah, it's a very interesting TV documentary. Very interesting thing. And as a matter of fact,
I'll not be on that then.
You won't. No. The reason why you aren't on it is because I don't want you.
And I've got hair.
No, that's not the point. I have hair too, but you may find that I have a little more at the end of it than I have now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, they're coming up here.
When?
No, never you mind. That's all I'm saying. My lips are sealed. My lips are sealed.
Who's coming here?
Watch this space. TV people are coming up here, and on Wednesday we're going to ask people to tell us about what they feel about hair transplants, if they've ever had one, how they feel about being baldy, that kind of thing, you know, hair loss, anything at all connected to that. For instance, a person writes to me and said, some years ago I qualified as a reflexologist and taught it in the East Antrim Tech. The principle of reflexology is that the nerve endings in your feet and hands relate to all body systems, and the nerve endings for the scalp are in the tips of the toes and the fingertips. Did you know that?
No.
So to stimulate the scalp and help promote hair growth, rub your fingernails of both hands together for a couple of minutes each day. It's as simple as that. Why don't you give it a go? Tell them why I can't do that.
Because you have no nails. Tell me what I
Just boys have had nails and hair. That's why I'm going baldy, because we have no nails.
What do you do? Tell me that again.
You do that there. I'm miming it now.
Right, I'm doing it now on the microphone.
You have to do it a couple of minutes each day. The hair's
just
not
click your nails like that?
No, you just rub your nails against each other.
I don't believe you.
See all the fingers, yeah. Because the nerve endings of your nails are connected to the nerve endings. So this lady here, but the nerve endings of the scalp and the tips of the toes and the fingernails.
So how do you rub your toenails together?
Hold on a second, I'll just read this again. Hands, no, it says hands
Just
together. Hands together. Rub the fingernails of both hands together for a couple of minutes each day. It's as simple as that. Why don't you give it a go?
I'm doing it.
That's Patricia Sterling says that. A couple of minutes each day. Well, but then again, how will you know the difference? Because you're not too bad.
No, I'm
You're
all
just
right.
going bald around the side.
Yeah. No. What?
Anyway, we encourage people to give us a ring on Wednesday. Not today. Give us a ring on Wednesday and want to talk about this. You know, it doesn't have to be a serious thing, whichever one way or the other. How do you feel about that? Have you had any experiences? Do you remember years ago, you used to go, about 10 years ago, you used to go on a plane. Stop doing that.
You told me to do it for a couple of minutes.
You look like a chipmunk. Stop that.
The hair's growing.
Emma, do you see any sign of hair growth there? It's not as quick as... do you? Right,
Right.
okay. Well, anyway, the point is, I forget now what I was going to say. Remember years ago...
On an aeroplane.
On an aeroplane, you would often see this. I suppose maybe... Do you know when you would see that? You see that in transatlantic flights more than anything
See
else.
what?
Will you wait until I get round to it? Don't be so fussy and picky. I'm saying that every once in a while, do you know when you look down an airplane, all you see the top of people's heads, right?
It's the same in the bus.
I know, but
Why do you have to go on an airplane?
I'm explaining it.
On a
Especially in
train?
transatlantic flights, because generally the people who travel in transatlantic flights on regular scheduled flights are people who've got a few pound, right? I'm not talking about chartered, not talking about continental, anything like that. People who normally travel on transatlantic flights usually got a few quid about them. So you're more liable to see this. So if you were looking down at the tops of the heads of people, every once in a while you see a man's baldy head that looked as if he'd been shot by buckshot. Have you seen that? That is a hair transplant that has gone wrong.
Oh.
See, about 10 or 15 years ago, people used to try hair transplants, and sometimes they wouldn't take. You see, so you'd get a man whose scalp is peppered with little holes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way you can hide that unless you wear a cap there.
Right.
And you can't be wearing a cap on an aeroplane because people think you're funny looking. So the man, you'd sit there, and I used to see that an odd time. One famous example? Who was a famous example? He's not famous anymore, but he was famous then. He was a man who tried a hair transplant. It didn't work, and he had the scalp, a baldy head, peppered with little holes. Russ Abbott.
Did he?
Absolutely, he had. I often seen him. And then he realised he couldn't do it anymore. He couldn't go on television with a head full of holes, so he got himself a wig. But you don't see him now because he's off the radar. But there are a number of people like that. Anyway, I'm encouraging people...
Did he not do a play the other night on Radio 4?
Yes, he's a straight actor now.
The Life of Tommy Cooper.
Very good straight actor. He used to do a very good Tommy Cooper, actually. I'm not surprised if he played the role of Tommy Cooper in a Radio 4 play. Very good straight actor. Anyway, all I was saying is, on Wednesday, give us a ring and tell us, have you ever done anything? Have you ever gone to a quack? Sometimes you go to people and they rub this stuff in your... There's a couple of places around Dublin, I remember.
How close did you get to buying a wig?
I never needed one.
Yeah, but you often talk... You have this thing about your hair.
I have not.
About your lack of hair.
I have not.
Yes.
All I have is a little skylight at the back.
Well, did you ever think...
No.
Did you ever stop at a wig shop and look in the window?
A wig shop?
Wherever you buy wigs.
You don't look in the window at wigs. They're always upstairs.
Well, did you ever walk in and let on
No.
you're looking for someone?
No, never. I never considered that. All I have a little scarcity around the back, a little skylight. The skylight window's a little open, but that's all right.
Are you getting that blocked up?
I'm not saying anything. You see, look at me from the front. I'm fine from the front.
That's all right, yeah.
I'm all right from the front.
You're all right with headphones on you.
Where do you think I wear them? Where do you think I wear the headphones? Now, Wednesday, people, stories
So
about...
what? You want a man sitting in the house saying,
I want people to tell
I've
me
been
about
wearing a wig for 14 years.
No.
I want to take it off.
Oh, okay, if he wants to, yes. And if people have gone to hair clinics and didn't work and men told them lies or whatever, people have been fooled into thinking there was a cure for male pattern baldness, which is what most people have, which is incurable unless you get a transplant. You can't make your hair grow again if your gene switches off. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, anybody who's had an experience, anybody who's got a comb over, which looks as if you'll have to get one soon, anybody that wants to talk anything at all about hair.
Wayne Rooney, do you want him?
Wayne Rooney, I would say, now, it looks to me, and I don't know, and I'm saying this without prejudice, it looks to me as I don't think he went to the right guy, because he's gone grey already. Have you noticed that?
Maybe he went to an older man.
If you go to an older man, it doesn't mean you turn grey. No, but you see, there are various people. I know a lot about this. I've been studying this past few weeks or so. And I know the best person in the world to go and get your hair done. And I don't think Wayne Rooney went to him. And the best person in the world to go and get your hair done is...
Are you encouraging men to take off their wigs?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
And smell the coffee.
Are you?
No, absolutely not. I'm not encouraging people to do anything. I'm on a mission to find out stuff. To find out what's going on. And in America, this thing has mushroomed to an incredible degree, along with plastic surgery and that kind of thing. Now, the best person in the whole world to do a hair transplant is not too far away from here. And not too far away from here could be 100 miles, 300 miles, 600 miles. What I'm saying is, it's not in America. right?
Right.
So we're encouraging people to give us a ring and tell us about that.
Is it expensive? I read in the papers that it's very expensive. Well, you can't expect an ordinary a man, working man, to hand. I heard somewhere in the region of 40,000 quid, or it could be as much as that, and maybe more.
If you can't afford it, let
man can afford that?
Let them eat cake.
But that's unfair.
It's not unfair. You need to know the facts before you make a judgment. Would you rather not know anything? If you wanted something and you discovered that it was a very great amount of money, isn't it better that you know what it costs rather than not know?
But baldness. But when we were growing up,
yes,
I mean that was the thing that in every sort of teenagers you feared this. I might go bald. You didn't want to go bald, but now it's no big deal anymore.
That's because people are going bald earlier.
All the young boys are shaving
their heads up. Yeah. A lot of people have got the wrong shaped head for that. Now, I couldn't do that because my ears are like the FA Cup.
Yeah,
I couldn't. My head's the wrong shape for being a bouncer. And you know what I used to do when I was in the choir in St. Eugene's Cathedral here in Derry, Stoke Londonderry? Do you know how we used to pass the time during long masses, which would sometimes last 2 hours? We used to lean over the parapet and count the wigs.
It wouldn't be that many.
Oh, there was plenty.
No,
there was plenty.
Not at
cheap wigs. Remember the ones that went out the back like a duck's arse?
Yes.
Plenty of them.
Yeah.
There was plenty of them. You used to be able to get a wig, and it would be like a cap, and you put it on. A lot of men have. You see some of them now even. Hold on. There's people listening to this. Hold on. I forgot we're on the radio.
Right.
Is someone on the line here?
Yes, a man with an update.
Thank you very much indeed. Back to the radio. So sometimes you forget you're on the radio in this program. It's very dangerous. Might say something that you mean. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
I'm sorry you had to listen to all that. Are you a man? I'm going to take you as an example. Are you a man with full head of hair, or are you baldy?
I found what you were having to say there fascinating, Gerry. I would be classed as a bald man, I would think.
Are you a man with receding hair, or have you got a full flat?
No, it's going thin on top. It's greying, and what I usually do is just shave it off.
Have you shaved it off?
Well, no, I might shave it off later today.
Have you got the right? No, have you got the right shape? No, be very careful about this. Have you got the right shaped head to shave it off?
You see, the thing is, what you were talking about, I do have a good shaped head for being a bald man.
All right, then we'll shave it off immediately.
Aye. And you can have a look at me if you ever get around to look at me up on Facebook. There's loads of photographs of me there from the trip.
I look forward to that. From the trip?
Good.
The what? From the what?
Trip.
What's the trip?
Do you remember I spoke to you last Tuesday, Gerry, about the cycle trip around Ireland?
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, I didn't realise who I was talking to. That's you, of course. And where are you now? Where are you now?
I'm sitting in the conservatory of my mum's house in Bundoran. That's how far we've made it.
And so you're very lucky to have a mother in Bundoran. I had a godmother.
No, she's in Belfast.
All right, so you've got a holiday home.
Yeah.
I had a
I shouldn't be telling you that for tax reasons, probably.
My godmother lived in Bundoran. My godmother's in Bundoran. Every time I used to go down there, I used to go down and see her. Anyway, lovely place. Anyway,
so far,
yeah?
So far, we've covered 212 miles. We've visited Derry, stayed over in Derry, stayed over in Bunbeg, and cycled through some of the worst weather I've ever experienced on a bike yesterday, coming through the mountains of Donegal.
Oh, dear, yesterday was awful.
Yeah. And to be fair, my preparation before I left Belfast wasn't exactly ideal.
Mm-hmm.
I went out and had a skinful on Thursday night and didn't get to my bed to 2:30. So I found it a bit tight cycling up over the Sperrin Mountains. And with 80 miles. What?
Well, you see, you're your own worst enemy in that case. That's
serves me right.
Feel no sympathy for you. Are you heading off today?
Today's a rest day for us, Gerry. At the moment in Bundoran, you've got the European Surf Championships.
Yes.
So we might hang about and take a bit of that in, and then we'll head off again tomorrow.
Okay. Now, don't forget and get really drunk tonight.
No. I might. I'm off the drink actually now, Gerry. At least until tea time.
All right. Well, remind the people why you're doing this.
I'm doing it for the PIP's Suicide Awareness Charity.
Yes.
And things are going quite well. People are donating online, and actually a few people on the way. A couple of kind people in Hughy Bug's bar on Saturday night to give me a couple of quid when they found out what I was doing, which was very kind of them.
And what's your website?
And I've got that URL for you, Gerry. Do you remember I didn't have it the last time?
Yes, go ahead. What is that?
Are you prepared for it now?
Yes.
It's quite cumbersome, so bear with me.
Okay.
It starts off HTTP, and then it's : and then it's uk.virginmoneygiving.com, and then /cycle999.
My God.
Isn't that a mouthful?
VirginMoneyGiving.com. What's after that?
And it's /cycle 999 in digits.
999. Okay, I've got that. HTTP : what kind of slash is that? / UK.virginmoneygiving.com / cycle 999.
That's it. That's
okay.
Perfect.
All right, I've got that.
To be fair, at this stage, I'd also mention the fact that the newsletter had it in the paper last Thursday as well, so that was good publicity too.
Excellent, good old newsletter.
You've been very kind and very generous, Gerry.
All right,
and thanks to your show, I must tell you one thing. Thanks to your show, a woman actually phoned me up and gave me a donation.
Oh well, that's good. That's good. I hope that happens.
That's the reason we're doing it, actually.
Give us a ring again when you're further
along.
I'll
ring you periodically from places down the west and south of Ireland. And just before I go, I would make a plea for anybody who's got spare rooms or empty holiday homes down Westport Galway and points further south, because we have no accommodation organised and we're not sleeping in a tent anymore.
All right then. Okay, we've got your details if anybody wants to contact you.
You've got our number. They can give me a ring.
Okay.
I left the number with Sean or Emma. I can't remember.
All right then. See you later.
Gerry, you're very kind. Bye
bye. Bye bye. That's what you should be doing there. Something useful instead of sitting there complaining about your ear. Go out and cycle for Ireland. Raise money for people. Do something useful with your life. Contribute. Give something back.
I want to play snooker for Ireland.
All right then. That'll do.
Who do you know? I don't know. What do you know? I don't know. How do you know? I don't know. Where are you going? Home.
Oh, I love that. I love that. A lot of people hate it, I know, but that's another boot in the wall. That's great, especially the guitar solo with the trumpets behind. You like that?
I tell you, you played one the other morning, and I thought it was the best ever.
You mean you're listening to this program?
Yeah. I know.
Oh.
I turned it on for the news.
That's good.
Tom Jones. You played Tom Jones.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I
Tom
loved
Jones.
that
And hold on
what
a second.
was it?
Let me get it. The Blondie and Tom Jones. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. That's the one.
Very clever.
Great show last week, kid. After the Friday show, all the girls who work at the cream bun factory checked their ovens before they went home for the weekend, not wanting a bun. Tommy, my cat, not to be confused with the weird hairy thing that lives under my bed, braced himself, looked at me, booked, but did not vomit, and said, Sugar Duncan had an awful fright last night, an awful fright, when he got caught in a cat flap as he returned home from a late-night gig. Well, I'll be a rhinestone cowboy, I said. How did they extricate the little warbler from the pussy portal? Stick and carrot, said Tommy. A family member held a bounty bar 6 inches from his nose, whilst the neighbour pretended to attack him from the rear with a chainsaw. Ah, the old bounty chainsaw trick. Many's a miner and potholer owes his life to that combination. What a rugged, handsome man Noel Thompson has become. Time has stripped away all callow youth, left him craggy and worn like an old cartwheel left out in the sun. Seasoned, bronzed, and worn. I do so agree, I enthused. Women of a certain age must sit in front of the TV thinking, I wouldn't mind a go at that craggy cove. And the lovely Donna Traynor, said Tommy. So beautiful, so elegant, so good at keeping her hands off Noel. I pulled the curtains, placed a black cloth over the mirror and said, Deep sadness lies at the heart of Donna Traynor. At the tender age of only 6 months, she won a Bonnie Baby contest, only to see it snatched away before her eyes. How did that happen? Cried Tommy. It came about like this. After winning the Bonnie Baby contest, the gurgling Donna was taken away for a drug test. No, cried Tommy. Yes, I said. Full as a kite on extra strong Calpol. The rosette was torn off her bib, and she was banned for life from the Bonnie Baby circuit. How sad, cried Tommy. How terribly sad. This is the bright side, I said. From that day on, Calpol has never passed the lips of Donna Traynor. Bravo! Donna Traynor is a role model for young girls everywhere, and I'll go along with that. Is there a call on the line?
Yes, please.
Where is it?
It's on one.
Was that so hard?
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Gerry.
Yes?
It's the doc here. Listen, I'm growing a beard here, sitting waiting on you.
I'm terribly sorry. There's other fish to fry here. You're not the only mackerel in the spit.
All right, well, I'll tell you what it is. Have you got your guttering done yet?
I don't do guttering.
You don't do guttering? No, but I can get the guttering done for you cheap.
What's this guttering talk? Have you been talking to Coyle? What is this?
No, I was speaking to you not a couple of years ago. I haven't been on to you in a good while. And do you not remember I said he would get the guttering done for you?
Oh, I always remember conversations I've had years ago with people about guttering. No, I don't remember. What was it about? What did you say?
Right, anyway, it doesn't matter. You didn't want it done anyway. But here's what I'm ringing you for. I want you to put the word out in the street in your ear to the ground, right?
Yes.
I can't for the life of me. Do you know what tub chairs is and tub suites is? The wee tub chairs that you sit on, they're suite of furniture.
Oh, yes, I know what you mean now, yeah.
Right, well, I can't seem to get them anywhere, and if I do happen to try and get them out of the papers or anything, they only come in 2s and 3s like that. I would need maybe a set of 6 or something.
6?
I wonder if you could put the word out on the street.
What do you call them again?
Tub, T-U-B.
Tub chairs?
Tub chairs and wee tub suites are like wee half-moon chairs that you would sit on. You know, when you walk into a hotel or something, you would sit at the wee round table or something that would have.
And you always
like,
slide. And you always slide off them.
Yes, yes.
Are they the ones you always slide off?
Yes, they're the ones.
Well, what do you want them for? You can't sit
I
in
want
them.
them from a snooker club.
They're for people they don't want to. Those you always find those in places where people don't want you to sit.
Yes, well, that's the whole idea. So the less people come around to play snooker, my place, the more chances I have of playing on the tables myself.
That's the kind of seats they have in an airport. Do you know the way they make airport seats deliberately uncomfortable so that you won't sit for a long time, you won't sleep or anything?
Exactly.
They do that in foyers of hotel because if they did that, people would come in, tramps would come in and sit down and read the paper.
Yeah, well, I would say the hotels would be my best bet, but for the life of me, I just haven't all day to sit and ring hotels because you know why they would get the place refurbished or whatever it is and maybe get new stock or something, and I would like to know what they would do with their second hand. It'd be second hands, it would be ones would be looking, it wouldn't be brand new ones. Like you can go on that Gumtree and all, and most of them are all out of England, and they're giving you them for practically nothing, like £1, £10 for a chair, but then you've postal package to pay after that there, you know.
Can't have that. Tub chairs and tub suites.
Yes.
Tub chairs and tub suites. Anyone who knows what that is, who knows what they are, who have any of those, give us a ring, and you'd prefer them second hand.
I prefer them second hand. I'm not. How you would say, I'm not that type when it comes to part my money.
You're not like him in there.
No, I'm not like. There's a big fella that drives us too big Gareth Butler too, and he's as tight as they come.
Tight as a fish's arse.
Tight as a fish's arse, and Alistair Barnes is supposed to be the main man in Portadown, and he's even tighter.
Is that right? There's
Yes,
something about that
absolutely.
area. It breeds them. All right, then.
But
Thank
like
you
your
very
own pockets, you know, where you can't get into your own pockets, or you've them sewed.
I understand that.
No.
So tub chairs and tub suites, anyone who's got those for sale, any hotel wants rid of them, you're the man.
Yes, I would appreciate it. Would you want me to hold on here, or do they have the number here, aye?
They have your number. Don't worry about
They have
that.
the number.
You can go away now. Thank you.
All right, Gerald, go and shave this beard off. Okay, mate.
Okay, right.
Cheers.
Right, bye. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes?
The show's back to normal at last.
Well, you know, two of us is good, better than one.
No, it's very good now. It's a wee bit flat now this last week or two. I don't like saying that, but
Well, you just mind your own business.
you have to give credit where it's due.
How dare you?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't have little without large, and you can't have
Large without little.
one without the other.
I understand what you're saying. Myself and Mr. Coyle are very close, except he will not buy me any drink.
Right.
Anyway, carry on. What do you want?
I was thinking about, I was going down on the train from Stoke City to Coleraine.
How long did it take you? 4 hours?
No, it takes 45 minutes.
Oh, that's an improvement.
It was a lovely run.
It's the best run in the world. That's why they're trying to close it down.
Oh, that's right. But I was going along, and you know where you have time to pass the time, and I was going through Ballerina,
Yes?
and I started thinking of a song,
Yes?
right?
Yes?
Do you know what it is?
No.
What?
It's a Van Morrison song, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Ballerina? It was on...
Nat King Cole.
Come on, spit it out.
Dance, Ballerina, dance.
Yes, okay, great.
That's what got me thinking, right?
Yes, I'm glad that it oiled your mind. Right, well, where did it go then?
I can see now, you see, if you're interested in the thing is great, and if you're not interested, it's not great. It's like that song you're playing there by Christy Moore, my wee Honda 50. I'm sort of sick listening to it, but anyway, I have a few local names here in the province.
Yes.
Right, this is the next one, Coleraine.
Yes.
Go on, song.
Song? Coleraine.
Yeah.
Coleraine. No, I can't think. Right, come on. You're dragging it out too much. Come on.
All right,
What?
Coleraine, drops keep falling on my head.
All right, okay.
Right.
Right, any more?
Put it down.
Put
Status quo.
Put that put it down, boy. Put it down. What is it?
Put it down, deeper and down.
Ah, stop. That's so obvious.
All right, here. Well, see, can you get this one?
All right, you should have said, put that it down, boy.
Right,
Put
that'll do.
Yes?
Here's one. Coal Island.
Coal Island. Coal Island in the stream.
Very good.
Actually, I know how you work this. Anybody can do that.
Right.
What you should do is get a song title that sounds like Coal Island, but it's not exactly like it. Do you know, a child could do that.
All
It's
right.
like,
Well, then I'll not bother giving you any more.
Oh, come on, give me more then to see how childish you can get. Come on.
Right then.
Right.
There's a wee village between Castlederg and Ederney.
What's it called?
Killing.
Killing me softly with his song.
Easy, are
I mean, how easy is that?
All right. Oma.
Oma Papa.
Very good.
To me, he was, yes?
Malail.
Malail?
Aye.
Milaila Belita. No,
Malail, Levinus Free.
Ah, for God's sake. That's so...
All right, here's one. Cookstown.
Cookstown. Cookstown I love so well.
Very good. No, you're too smart. You're far too smart.
No, you don't need to be smart. That's the point I'm saying to you.
Well, here's one here now.
What?
That's a song. Got myself a crying, talking, sleeping, walking.
Limassol.
Antrim Coast. Cushendall.
Right, okay. See, Limassol is better, you see, because it doesn't sound like a doll.
Well, I know I haven't got your intellect, Gerry, but you know,
No, you're trying.
I'm starting here with a blank sheet of paper, and I'm trying to put something on it.
Right.
Right.
You're doing well so far. Now, try and make them less literal, okay?
Ardstraw.
Ardstraw. Ardstraw.
You nearly said it.
Ardstraw. No, what is it?
Beatles number.
Ard Strawberry Fields Forever.
Very good.
Right, okay.
Right.
Yes? You mean there's more?
There's more.
Right, okay.
Right. And Strabane there, we have a new bridge.
Yes?
Over the River Mourne.
Over the Camel...
No.
Camel's Hump?
It's called Mourne River.
Yeah, Mourne River. That's better. Mourne
Wider than
River.
a mile.
St. Abel's and Dye, Signoria and Mourne.
Aye.
Right?
That's it.
I see. We're going down that road. That's better, you see.
Is that better?
That's better. You see,
Right.
you're getting in the right direction.
All right then. What about a few people's names?
Go ahead.
Right. You know, down the other side of Derry, stroke Londonderry, go down to Grantia.
Yes.
There's a place called Ina.
Ina Sharpos. But that's easy.
No, do you
What?
know what made me think of this?
What?
There was a fella a few years ago down the south of England, and he went around and he added words to all the road signs.
Yes.
And there was one dangerous corner, and he rubbed out dangerous, and he put on Des O.
Des O'Connor.
Des O corner.
Yes. Well, you see,
Right.
that's all right. I think we've had enough of this.
Come here, there's just a few more.
All right, then.
Right. We place down the other side in Uri, Mike.
Mike? Yes, okay. M-E-A-G-H.
Aye.
Mike Tyson.
Baldwin.
Mike, you're going back a bit. to
Here, this
Coronation
is a
Street.
more difficult one. Castle Dawson.
Castle Dawson Hines.
Castle Dawson.
No, Castle Dawson Stelfox.
Aye, I never saw that one. Roy and Les.
Roy and Les Dennis.
Roy Castle and Les Dawson.
Yes, right.
Moira.
Right, listen, thank you. Thank you. Go away.
Here's another one.
No, thank you. Goodbye. But there's too much of that. Yeah. There's too much of that. Have you seen this, the updated version of the Irishman's Guide to Understanding Ireland?
I never got one of those, you know.
Ireland is an island to the west of Britain, but Northern Ireland is just off the mainland, not the Irish mainland, the British mainland. The capital of Ireland is Dublin. It has a population of 1 million people, all of whom will be shopping in Newry this afternoon. They travelled in Newry because it is in the north, which is not part of Ireland, but still pay in euros. Under the Irish Constitution, the north used to be in Ireland, but a successful 30-year campaign of violence for Irish unity ensured that it is now definitely in the UK. Had the campaign lasted longer, the north might now be in France. Belfast is the capital of Northern Ireland. It has a population of 500,000, half of whom have houses in Donegal. Donegal is in the north, but not in the north. It is in the south. No, not the south with the capital S. There are 2 parliaments in Ireland. The Dublin Parliament is called the Dáil, pronounced Doyle, an Irish word meaning a place where bankers receive taxpayers' money. The one in Belfast is called Stormount, an Anglo-Saxon word meaning placebo, or deliberately ineffective drug. Their respective jurisdictions are defined by the border, an imaginary line on the map to show fuel launderers where to dump chemical waste. Protestants are in favour of the border, which generates millions of pounds in smuggling for those who are opposed to it. Travel between the 2 states is complicated because Ireland is the only country in the world with 2 M1 motorways. The one in the north goes west to avoid the south, and the one in the south goes north to avoid the price of drink. We have 2 types of democracy in Ireland. Dublin democracy works by holding a referendum, then allowing the government to decide which way it would like it to go. If the government thinks the result is wrong, the referendum is held again. Twice in recent years, the government decided the people's choice was wrong and offered a new solution. Belfast democracy works differently. It has a parliament with no opposition, so the government is always right. This system generates envy in many world capitals, particularly in Cuba. Ireland has 3 economies, northern, southern and black. Only the black economy is in the black. The other 2 are in the red. All versions of the IRA claim to be the real IRA, but only one of them is the real IRA. The North's biggest industry is the production of IRAs. Consequently, we now have the provisional, continuity and real IRA. The real IRA is by far the most popular amongst young graffiti writers because it is the easiest to spell. See how educational this programme is? People from foreign countries listening here.
Down your street and through the car park, snow freezing the blood in your hands. The wind got tired of blowing us back into town, away from your old school, names you couldn't shake, drifting from the old disasters of hearts you couldn't break. Shoot the lights out on the things that we did wrong. It all starts now. We've got days to live and make up what we missed. It all starts now. 70 dark Novembers on pavements full of cracks. Lost your hope have to buy yourself back. Shoot the lights out on the things that we did wrong. It all starts now. We've got days to live to make up what we missed. It all starts now. Never took the chance to be something I thought I lacked. The only things I give away are things I don't want back. Shoot the lights out on the things that we did wrong. It all starts now. We've got days to live to make up what we missed. It all starts now. Shoot the lights out on the things that we did wrong. It all starts now. We've got days to live to make up what we missed. It all starts now. It all starts now. It all starts now.
That's Farewell to the Old Ghosts. Oh no, that's not that at all. That's what the album is called. It's called It All Starts Now, and it's from a band called Foreign Slippers, which is a Norwegian lady who is paired, if I may use the expression, to a man from Coleraine. So there's a website here if you're interested in that. Let me just see what that is. It's no, it's too complicated. For God's sake. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Geordie, I owe you an apology.
You do indeed. You wouldn't hate me. The Indian summer's on its way.
How likely I took your views. How likely I dismissed what you had seen in the
Yes,
hedgerows
you
of our
said
country.
I was talking out of trollop.
And you were looking around, just seeing the signs from the animal and the
Uh-huh.
bird world.
Yes.
And those signs told you, a man, many years of experience tramping the country, and you
Aye.
saw from nature's signs that an Indian summer was on his way, and I poo-pooed it.
You did indeed.
And now I see that you were right, and you should be basking in the glory of a sunshiny week
Oh.
because of it.
And, Gerry, I had a great hatching year of the year.
A hatching year?
Aye.
Mm-hmm. In what way?
I have 12 lovely magpie ducks, black and white ducks out.
12?
12 of them. And a lovely big gander and 2 geese out for bay.
Right. And you have the space to provide for all these?
Well, I will sell a lot of them, like, you know.
Would you? What would you sell?
I would sell maybe 6 ducks.
Mm-hmm. Do you have much water around there? Maybe you don't.
I have. Oh, I have a pond here now.
Have you?
Oh,
You'd sell maybe 6 of them. Are they black and white, are they?
What?
Black and white ducks, did you say?
Yes.
What kind are they, do you know?
Magpies.
Magpie? Is that what you call them, magpie ducks?
Uh-huh.
I never heard of that. 6 magpie ducks. How much would a magpie duck be? I mean, what would be a reasonable price for a magpie duck?
Well, a fiver.
A fiver a duck?
Ah.
That sounds like a bargain to me. A man with 30 quid could find himself with 6 magpie black and white ducks.
Yes, and it would be £12
For a gander?
for the gander and 15 for the goose.
I think somebody said that to me in Soho one time. It's £12 for a gander. What did you say? £12 for a gander? Did you say? No. What did you say?
No, £10 for the gander.
£10 for ruffle. £10.
And £15 for the goose.
£15 for the goose. That all sounds reasonable to me. There are
It
people.
is. You wouldn't rear them for it, Gerry. The price of nail and stuff.
I'm telling you. What does a duck live on? If I was to get a duck of you, what would I have to feed it?
Well, they're good grass feeders.
Yes.
They love the grass.
Yes.
And then Ortons, you know what you're doing? You're down there, peel the potatoes and throw out the skins and stuff.
I must explain to the people what Ortons is, or should I say Ortons are. Ortons are scrap food.
Yes.
And they're left over, and it's an old
skins of potatoes and stuff.
It's an old Ulster Scots word that only Geordie uses. That's why I have to translate. Ortons. Ortons.
Yes.
Did you ever hear that word, Ortons?
Only from Geordie.
He's the only one who uses it. But
Ortons.
I looked it up in the Ulster Scots Diary, and there it is. That's what it means.
Is it scraps of food or skins? What Geordie said is skins.
Geordie is it? No, but see, that's brock.
It's just all the leftovers.
Oh, just the leftovers.
See, Ortons is not brock or refuse. Refuse or brock or skins, right? Potato skins mainly. But Ortons is different. A wee bit of chop left.
Yes.
A couple of bits of potato. Maybe
a duck wouldn't need a chop.
It would indeed.
Ach, Geordie.
I'm telling you, want to see them, but the other two was fighting the other day. I had done one chop too many and got sort of burned. I don't have to, and there was two of them out, and one at each end, or like a tug of war.
You see, did you ever see a dog, two ducks fighting over a chop?
Teeth.
Two ducks fighting over a chop.
Has a duck got teeth?
Yes, wee sharp ones.
Wee tiny ones. You never seen a duck's bill?
Tiny ones.
No, I've never had my finger inside a duck's bill.
I skinned a beaver.
There's no answer.
What do you do with a skin, Gerry?
I didn't skin a beaver. I witnessed a beaver being skinned by the great grandson of Kit Carson.
I think so. That's what they made the wee hot out of.
And a beaver is the funniest thing you've ever seen. Now, what he
not
does,
when it's getting skinned.
No, but he didn't kill a beaver. What he did was every once in a while, he would do this kind of demonstrate. He'd demonstrate the skinning of a beaver. It's a very, very amazing thing, because and what they do is they don't kill beavers, but what they do is people bring in beavers that have been killed on the highway. You know, but not necessarily.
Well, how do you know it's been killed on the highway?
Because you find them on the highway killed.
Yeah, but how did the man who, if you bring it into a man, the man in the beaver shop,
yeah,
how does the man
the beaver shop?
How does the man know that was killed on the highway?
Well, there's a certain amount of trust involved. No, but you don't buy them. People come along and give them to these people because they know that they want beaver carcasses to demonstrate the art of beaver. Because this.
So there are men walking along the highways, only the highways for looking for dead beavers. That's
no, if you're driving along the highway, this is down in Arkansas. If you're down there in Arkansas, driving along in the vicinity of the Arkansas River or somewhere like that, and you see the big pile in the middle of the road, and you look, and there's a beaver that has been unfortunately knocked aside and killed, providing it's not mangled, like roadkill. He brings them along, and the fella skins them. It's the most wonderful thing. I never seen anything like it. Anyway,
David's on too. He wants to ask Geordie a question.
David,
hello.
You can say hello to Geordie. Yes.
I wanted to ask Geordie. I have a pond with fish in it. If I got duck, would the duck eat the fish?
Yeah, good point, Geordie.
Well, what sort of fish are there?
Well, there's chabunkins and like big goldfish, you know.
Like koi carp or something like that?
No, the duck
they're not as big as koi.
No, they're not. No, the duck wouldn't boil them.
Does a duck eat fish at all?
No, they wouldn't boil them, no.
That's good.
The duck was a seven up, but it's mostly
grass and stuff.
Watercress and all like that.
I've never seen a duck eating a fish. You know, we see cormorants and they dive. I've never seen a duck doing that.
No, you not see a duck eating.
The big herons would eat them.
Oh, the herons would eat them, yeah.
And Gerry, I have a bit of news for you.
Yes, sir.
I have a bit of news for you.
Yeah, what's that?
There's a lady phones me regular. Morning. And she has a bus pass.
Yeah.
And she took herself away to the Stroke City, Londonderry.
Yes.
See that? And walked round the walls and all. And she had a great day. And she thinks, or she says, it's a lovely city.
Well, Mr. Coyle and I, we don't know about this yet, Mr. Coyle, but Mr. Coyle and I are going to invite some people up here to Derrystroke, Londonderry in the near future.
Are we?
Yes,
what,
we
they
are.
live in our house?
To live in your house. No. We invite them up to a certain event that's going to take place here, and we shall be more news on that in the coming weeks. You don't know anything about this yet, because you've been away.
Is Geordie invited?
No.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, we can't have an event without Geordie.
All right, then, he's invited.
Yes.
Geordie, you're invited. We need you up here.
Right, I'll dung out a clean shirt.
Yeah, do. All right, see you later.
Right, bye now.
Bye, bye. Ah! Did you hear that?
What?
My God. Did you hear the sound?
Did you talk to Gerry about the Indian summer? Emma's asking me.
Yes, Emma, I did at the beginning of the conversation. Try and listen sometime. It's far better.
Still a tad loud.
This is our last record of the day.
There's a pounding in my head, glitter all over the room, pink flamingos in the pool. I smell like a mini bar. DJ's passed out in the yard. Bobby's on the barbecue. This a hickey or bruise. Pictures of last night ended up online. I'm screwed.
A gentleman, I meant to read this earlier. A gentleman lost his wallet in Ballymena yesterday around the Fairhill Shopping Centre High. William Street area. It is purple, the size of a bank card, which is in it along with my driving licence. Thank you. Please contact anyone on this programme. This is Katy Perry. This is the last time we'll be able to have an opportunity to play music today. Back tomorrow at 10:30. Goodbye. There's a man who used to go to Ken's chip shop. You have my eyes full of tears. I was on my way to Ken's many years ago after a feed of drink. All I wanted was a cardboard fish. Then the RUC stopped me and my license was gone. I never went back for 3 months.